Welcome back to another episode of the West 17 Sports TV podcast. Today we got some returning members. We got Johnny Gray, Cade McPeak, and Gavin Heck. We already did the first round playoffs. Some predictions were pretty successful, others were not. Some notable ones, Memphis and four, seemed to not go so well. We'll see. We'll see if Johnny can get his game back on track for this podcast. Today we're talking about the second round. It is what today's Saturday. Let's start off with how was your Saturday? Quick weekend, last week of school. How was your Saturday?
You got this, John?
Sure. Yeah, it's been good. Been relaxing. No homework to worry about. Just messing around, having fun.
Well, we got one more day of school, Monday.
That doesn't really count, though.
They got that Tower Term Expo to enjoy.
Yeah.
I slept till like 1 in the afternoon, so that was nice. It was probably like the first day in like 8 months. I actually got like hella sleep, so that was good. Just playing hella Diamond Dynasty today.
Of course. Got to take control of that esports league next year. We'll see.
Facts.
All right, so getting into the second round of the playoffs, we'll start off with the East. I'm wearing my Philadelphia 76ers cap today. We'll go with Sixers versus Atlanta. Let's go to the master himself, Gavin Heck, on the Philadelphia 76ers. Gavin, what do you think about the series?
The Sixers, in Game 5 against the Wizards, looked really good, even without Embiid. Everyone just played a big part, like Seth Curry. But I think the Hawks still scare me. Obviously Trae Young's a bucket, and they got really good, some really good shooters, and Bogdanovich and Gallinari, even Huerter coming off the bench. But I'm still confident in the Sixers, and I think Trae Young will definitely win a game or two single-handedly. So yeah, I got Sixers in 6.
Sixers in 6. That's a pretty solid take. Let's go to hot take himself, Johnny Gray. What do you think?
So I like the Hawks. I liked them against the Knicks. You said Julius Randle would be a problem. I said no. We got that on lock. Just like we'll have Ben Simmons on lock. And Embiid's a little sketchy. If Embiid was full potential, then this might be a different series.
I think he's
But
fine.
with Embiid not being 100%, I'm going to take Hawks in 6.
Hawks in 6. Damn, you're coming out with a big hot take on the first round of the second round.
It's
You
not
said
as hot as you think.
Hawks in 6. You call it not as hot as you think.
Nope.
We'll go back to Cade to bring some reason to this podcast. Cade, what do you think?
Well, I'm not gonna say that Johnny's opinion is there's a small part of me that thinks the Hawks can win this series in 6 or 7 games. I think they're gonna take game 1 without Embiid. And I think they're gonna take at least one more home game in Atlanta. So just finding those other 2 wins that they can get, and I don't think Embiid's gonna be healthy for the entire series. So I'm gonna go Sixers in 7, but I totally see the Hawks winning this series, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
All right. I now that Cade said it, I'm a little bit concerned, but I got to say that I didn't see the Hawks. Obviously I had the Knicks beating them. I was way off on that one. I did have my Derrick Rose prediction on point, though. I will say that,
but I told you they were going to lose if that happened, and they lost. So.
Yeah, that is true. But with the Hawks, I feel like they just have a really complete team. They got nice shooters. They got Clint Capella down low. Obviously Dwight probably can't handle Clint Capella. But, if Embiid comes back, is he ruled out for game 1 officially?
He's questionable, it said.
Even if he does play this series, I don't think he's any healthier than 75%. And I think he's going to be severely hindered by that knee.
I think that's all they need, though.
Being that tall and that big, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a situation like Anthony Davis where he tries to come back, but it just doesn't work for him.
See, that's questionable. But I feel like Embiid, he's been taking a few threes. I think he takes that mid-range jumper quite a bit. So he doesn't need to bang down low against Clint Capella. But, at the end of the day, that is his bread and butter, just that post-up. I'm seeing the Sixers in 6, maybe 7. I did watch a bit of the Hawks. I watched my boy Kevin Herter from Maryland. Shout out to him, Terb Nation. But, Gallinari, I think he's going to have a really solid series. I think Trae Young, obviously, ice Trae. He's obviously going to, put up a couple 40-point games, probably a couple of 30 maybe. And, Hawks are going to take a few games probably at home. I don't think they're going to be able to win in Philly, though. I don't see them winning in Philly like that.
Yeah.
Philly fans are wild. I've been to a couple games, but it's tough to win in Wells Fargo with, the team that the Hawks have being so young and like not as experienced in the playoffs. So I got Sixers in 7. Who do you guys think is the biggest X factor of the series, though?
You got this, Gavin?
All right. For the Hawks, I got the Kevin Herter. I was watching him in like the Knicks series a little. I mean, he can just like come in real quick, hit like three threes, and then dip. But he's like a great bench player. And for the Sixers, I got Tyrese Maxey. I think a lot of people coming into the playoffs did not see him as playing like really at all, just because he's a rookie. He's a little inconsistent in the regular season, but during the Wizards, like especially the last game, you could see just how fast and quick he is, and if he can knock down that like mid range jump shot, there he could definitely get some serious minutes.
For the Hawks, I'm gonna go with Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish, he's coming in. He's going 19 for 19 on 3 and dropping 57.
57 this series or in one game?
One game.
Oh, he was hurt.
Game one.
And then, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of a no-brainer. But for the Sixers, I'm going to go – I don't know. Honestly, they're all pretty bad.
I'm also going to go Furkan Korkmaz for the Sixers.
Furkan, yeah.
If he can come in, play some good D, and hit like 3 threes, and just like have 9 points, like they're chilling.
Okay, what do you think?
I think this entire series really comes down to the meniscus of Joel Embiid. I think if he ends up missing game 1 and possibly a few other games maybe later in the series, this could very much go the Hawks' way. And I think if Sixers don't have Embiid, this is not exactly guaranteed to be a better team than Atlanta, and Atlanta can win that series pretty handily if Embiid's not playing. I don't think Simmons could lead the Sixers through an entire playoff series without him. So, and they like quite a few close games with the Wizards, and the Wizards are just not going to get you ready for a pretty good opponent in Atlanta that I think a lot of people are underestimating. So I think Embiid's health is really going to be the most important thing here.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with Cade here. But like, if Embiid misses 2 to 3 games, then Atlanta's gonna win pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much guaranteed because Atlanta can definitely pull off a game even with Embiid there. So I feel like Atlanta's gonna beat Philly pretty easily without Embiid. Obviously, Joel Embiid's playing. I think Philly takes this series pretty handedly. I'm talking like 5 or 6 games, but with Embiid probably missing game 1, I mean, it's got to go to 6 or 7. And it could go either way. I think for the Hawks, Gallinari low-key might be pretty important. I feel like he's like that shooter and that scorer that you have, like that Atlanta has, that can literally like come in, get you like 20 on any given night. And if he can do that, then like, that they have a bona fide second like star pretty much on the offensive end, at least with Gallinari. So, obviously all the defensive attention, we're gonna have to put like Ben, and then we're probably gonna have to put Matisse on Trae Young. Like if Gallinari comes in and starts cooking us, like we don't know what to do at that point. So, if he comes in, and then you got Kevin Huerter on the other side, who's gonna guard him? For the Sixers, I think Seth Curry is actually gonna be pretty important. If he can knock down the 3 ball like he did in the beginning of the year, then that just increases our spacing even more. I think that like Matisse is obviously going to be extremely important. If he's going to be playing big minutes on defense, but if he can up his offensive game, I mean, that's a wrap. That's Sixers. But it's going to be a close series, closer than a lot of people think. Now that I actually watched a couple of Hawks games, which I haven't had before, I can definitely say that the Hawks are a lot better than I thought they were. But yeah, it's going to be close. Comes down to Embiid pretty much. Comes down to Trae Young, the 2 stars. We'll see what they do.
I think it's a big test for Doc Rivers too. He's supposed to be like a good coach, he should handle them pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like Doc's legacy is like it's riding on that 2008 championship with the Celtics. Like after that, he hasn't done anything too extraordinary. Yeah. So he had that Lob City team, didn't really accomplish much with that. He had that, that Clippers team from last year, didn't really do anything with that. So this is his year. He's the number 1 seed. He's really got to prove himself as like a bona fide, like good head coach.
Word.
All right, moving on to the next series. We got this one's actually like very interesting. We got Milwaukee versus Brooklyn. The past two MVPs in Giannis Antetokounmpo versus the dreaded Big Three, Harden, Kyrie, and KD. We'll go to you know what? We need a hot take right now. We'll go to Johnny for this one right away.
Well, I think this game's probably one of the more interesting ones. I think the winner of this has a good shot at winning the championship. And I've always been a fan of Kyrie and Harden. So I like the Nets here. I think the Bucks are going to put up a fight, but generally I think the Nets have more clutch players and more potential points. So I think I'm going to take Nets in 7. Close series though.
That's in 7. Gavin, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Johnny. I mean, the Bucks are obviously really talented with guys like Giannis and Drew Holiday, but I was watching like the Nets Celtics game 5 or 6, not game 5. And if Kyrie and KD, and then I wasn't even like Harden wasn't even on, but when those two are on, they're unstoppable. And I also think losing Dante DiVincenzo for the Bucks really kills them. And so yeah, I think the Bucks could definitely squeak out like 2 wins, but I got Nets at 6.
That's in 6. Kate, what do you think?
Well, this is a really interesting series because you have one of the best defensively constructed teams with Milwaukee having Holiday, one of the best lockdown guards in the league, and Giannis, and along with like just how they play defense in general is really solid. Then you have one of the best offenses of all time with Brooklyn. So I don't think that Milwaukee is going to be able to stop Brooklyn really easily, but Brooklyn's defense is also horrible. So I think Giannis can really go for like 35, 40 points pretty easily in this series. I think the last series against the Heat really showed that the Bucks are locked in this year and that they're ready to make a real playoff run. And I think hopefully they can because I think Giannis deserves it. He's worked really hard with that team and playing for a small market team. I hope that he can pull out this series. So I got the Bucks in 6.
I
You got
hope
the
you're.
Bucks in 6,
I hope Cade's right.
honestly. So we got a bit of an upset from Cade. I'm gonna, you know, this is a really tough one. I think it's gonna be really close. I think it's probably gonna go to 7 games. But at the end of the day, the playoffs come to star power. It comes to closing games. And I think Brooklyn just has enough star power and enough, closers. We talking Kyrie, Katie, and Harden can all close that game. On the side of Milwaukee, I mean, they got Chris Middleton, who's their game closer. Like Giannis doesn't really close games. You don't see him taking that last shot. You don't really see like Drew Holiday taking that last shot. So I think at the end of the day, in such a tight series, it's gonna go to Brooklyn. I think it's gonna be in 7 games though. The defense of Milwaukee, as Cade mentioned, is just really well constructed. The loss of Dante DiVincenzo, as Gavin mentioned, is huge because I'm pretty sure that he could have like actually made some problems for Harden. But now, I mean, I guess they're gonna have to start like PJ Tucker at power forward, move everyone up. Like I don't really know who's gonna start. Like Bryn Forbes. Bryn Forbes is in there not stopping like James Harden. So on Brooklyn side, they got offensive guys that are not just the big three. They got Jeff Green, they got what's his name, Blake Griffin, they got Joe Harris, the shooter. Like they got so many offensive guys, and their defense is good enough where like the Milwaukee offense won't be enough of a problem for you know the Nets defense. Obviously, you got Giannis, who's going to be a problem down low, but KD's going to do his best to stop him. Like you got Chris Middleton, sure, but they can match up pretty easily with that. So I think all in all, it's going to be a tough series. It's going to be a hard fought series. I think the Nets just have enough star power with their big three, and they got enough supporting pieces to, make a push for that title run, make a push for that Western Conference Finals pretty easily.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think is the X factor though?
I think that the X factor is actually Mike Budenholzer. I think he's going up against a rookie head coach and Steve Nash, and I think this series his job really is on the line. And if he loses the series, he's going to be out as the coach of the Bucks. So I think he needs to get his team together, get a good plan in. I think he has the good team to defend the Nets pretty well. I think Holiday can defend Kyrie, and Middleton can defend Harden, and Giannis can defend Durant. So I think Budenholzer needs to win this series to keep his job in Milwaukee. So I think him doing well this series and winning games this team is going to be important.
Yeah, I actually think it's going to be Brooke Lopez for the Bucks. Obviously, the Nets like to play small ball. They're big 3-point shooting team. If he can go in there, play good D, get rebounds, and put up 15 to 20 points, I think they have a really good shot of winning each game.
For the Nets, I got Harden just because I want to see him come out shooting, dropping 40, maybe like 90, maybe might drop 90, who knows? But for the Bucks, I'm probably going with Thanasis.
Easily.
I think he might be the most underrated Antetokounmpo on that team. Honestly, I think Johnny's right there.
Right.
Yeah, I think he'll get up there, maybe drop like 7 points.
7 points the entire series, probably.
Valid.
Yeah.
Hey, those 7 points make a difference.
Yeah.
I got Joe Harris as my X factor for the Nets because I think his shooting is going to provide like such a big boost where like the entire defense is going to be so focused on the big three that they're just going to leave Joe Harris probably a couple of possessions. Like you can't leave him, but it's going to happen. Joe Harris knocks down those 2 threes, 6 points right there.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest one. I think Drew Holiday is probably the biggest one for the Bucks because after letting go of Eric Bledsoe, getting Drew Holiday, you expect a lot from Drew Holiday, both on the defensive end and on the offensive end. So obviously, what's up?
Makes all that money too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. Yeah.
I mean, he do be making bank. I mean, he's got to show up now. Like all that talk about him being like the greatest defender, he's got to prove it. He's got to come out, lock up, either Harden, Kyrie, maybe even KD.
Defender. Who said he's the greatest defender? What?
A lot of NBA players say he's the greatest guard defender in the league right now.
Right now? Oh, okay. I thought you were talking like all time. You said greatest. I was like, whoa.
Oh hell no, nah, not that much. But he's right now probably one of the top defenders in the league at the guard position.
Possibly, I think if you he's
according to the players, from what I've heard. My sources have told me.
Yeah.
So. All right, we'll move on to the Western Conference. We'll go with the one that's already been decided. We got Denver versus Phoenix, the 2 versus the 3 seed. Let's go with Cade for this one. Mix things up. Cade, what do you got?
I'm gonna go Denver. No, I'm gonna go Phoenix in 7. I think yeah. I'm gonna go Phoenix in 7. I think Ayton is gonna have to play well, stop Jokic. And I think the Suns have a lot of momentum right now coming off that series against the Lakers. I think Devin Booker has been phenomenal, and I'm really happy for him that he stayed in Phoenix all that time. He's finally getting to see the playoffs and had those moments. So I think, and Chris Paul too, I think they both deserve to go on the deep run here. So I think the Suns are going to pull this one out. I think the experience of Chris Paul is going to help, and I think the loss of Jamal Murray is going to be huge for the Nuggets not having a lot of backcourt play.
Yeah, I agree with that. Gavin, what do you got?
I got Suns. I want to say 4, but I'm gonna say Suns in 5. I really, besides Michael Porter Jr. and Jokic, the Nuggets just don't look that good. They don't have a very good bench. Even their starting lineup doesn't look nice. And the Suns look really good. Besides, against the Lakers. So if Devin Booker and Chris Paul can just do their jobs, I think they're gonna take care of them pretty easily. And they have better depth too.
So you got Suns in 5.
Yeah.
All right. Johnny, what do you think?
I really don't care about the series at all. I think the Suns beating the Lakers did not show me anything at all. The Lakers are horrible now. And although I would like to see the Nuggets pull this one out, they beat the Blazers, who I think was more formidable opponent than the Lakers. I don't think they're going to stand a chance against the Suns, really, without Jamal Murray and whatnot. So I'm going Suns in 4. Suns sweep.
Yeah, I can see that.
Suns sweep.
I don't know.
All right.
No, they start Austin Rivers and that like Argentinian dude.
Bro, Campazzo's a beast. What do you
You can't have
mean?
both those dudes in your starting lineup.
Nah,
Yeah,
but
Aaron
Jokic is a little overrated.
they got MPJ, Aaron Gordon, and Jokic though.
I don't like Aaron Gordon
Aaron
either.
Gordon's only known for a dunk
That's
contest.
facts. That's
not
facts.
even winning. He doesn't even win them.
Yeah,
So
facts.
he's being a consolation dunk contest winner. So
Facts.
I feel like there's too much Denver slander going around. I'm gonna call Denver in 6.
Ooh.
not happening.
You know, even I'm rooting for the Suns. I want the Suns to win, honestly, because Devin Booker, CP3. I want them to succeed, but like I think Denver, them beating Portland. I watched a lot of the games, obviously being a Melo fan, and I saw the way that Denver played, and like the way that they just locked up. Like they didn't like lock up Dame that well, but whenever they locked up Dame, they locked up every single other person on the court, and
Good. So
that's all you need to do. Like if you lock up like your perimeter players, if Jokic can literally eat barbecue chicken every day in the post against Aiton, like he got Nurkic to foul out almost every single game.
Nurkic
Like,
is a horrible defender. Like Aiden is a way better defender than Nurkic. It's
Facts.
not going to be like that at all.
bro, I'm calling Aiden's gonna get like 4 fouls a game. He's gonna have to sit half the games, and I don't even know who their backup. Like Frank the Tank Kaminsky, like
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bucket.
maybe a bug if he's not stopping Jokic anyway. So I think all right. Maybe Nuggets in 6 is a bit too much, but I'm gonna stick with it. I think the Nugget last time I went against you guys was a Knicks prediction, but we'll stay Nuggets in 6. I got Jokic averaging 30, 12, and 4, and I think
4 rebounds.
four assists.
Jokic averaging 4 assists.
Yeah, Jokic averaging 4 assists.
I think he'll get like 8 assists.
That's way too low.
Nah, I don't think he's gonna like. What does he average now? He averages like 5 or 6 a game.
I'm pretty sure he averages like close to 8, doesn't he?
He does.
I think so.
He's
Shit.
really-
All right. I'm changing that. I don't want to have him. I give him a triple double like that, but I'll give him 30, 12, and like 7. 30, 12, and 7. Mark my words. Come back to this podcast. Comment 30, 12, and 7 when he does it.
Yes.
Right here.
I also think the Nuggets are gonna be rattled by Jay Crowder. Obviously, he got in LaFraud's head. I do that salsa dance. So, yeah, like him a lot.
All right. I kind of forgot the Suns had Jay Crowder. I forgot they had Michael Bridges or Mikal Bridges or however you pronounce his name. But
Should be a Sixer.
yeah, he should be. Dude, I thought the Sixers were going to draft MPJ that year. I was so excited. And
They also have Cameron Johnson. He's nice.
they do.
Okay. Campaign's
But-
good.
I just think Jokic just, he's just gonna dominate. Like, I don't see Aiden like coming out to guard Jokic at the 3-point line. And then if he does that, a simple cut by Michael Porter Jr. and then that's an easy like backdoor layup. Segura taught us those backdoor cuts all day, every day. Like you guys know how it is.
Like, shout out my man Segura, bro.
Get Segura on the podcast.
Yo, Dad, we gotta get Segura Coach Pete on this podcast. Like, come on now.
Coach Pete was
That'd be hard.
Big.
We'll get Kaiser on here, maybe talk about the future of the JV program.
Legit.
I saw Johnny commented that like one of the early ones. He was like, "Let's do one on the future of the JV program." Comment down below if you want to see that. We'll talk about all the people on the last year's JV team.
greatest team ever. Never gonna get a banner for it, but that was the greatest team ever assembled.
Greatest team ever. I had to make the announcement during morning assembly too.
We would play the varsity team in like a scrimmage at the end of practice, and we would win.
Dude, we would easily.
Dean and Dylan would drop like 8 points each, and we'd win.
Facts.
Bro, we locked up too. I mean, I was on my bench mob, but with Cade out there, like
Like I was knocking out Jaden, bro.
That mom was crazy.
are y'all playing next year?
I think I am.
My jersey up in the rafters, We got the I forget what I was. I think I was number 1, yeah.
We're number 1.
Yeah.
So tough.
Pirate.
I averaged what was it? 2 points a game, played 3 games, hit 2
You
3 6
hit that,
points.
you hit that 1-3 in the playoff game against Seaford. I was watching that.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
That thing rattled in. I just stood there. Coach got so mad. He's like, run back on defense. I just looked at him and said, no. And then my last game at Tower Hill, I asked coach if I could get in, and he was like, or the one before Sanford, I was like, can I get in? It's my last home game. He was like, no, go back to the bench. And I was like, all right, fine.
Imagine.
I was like, fine.
Segura would have put you on.
Segura would have put me in, dude. Nah, Segura would have maybe like wipe the floor or something. Like he would not put me in.
It would make me do that.
Get the video of you hitting the 3 against Sanford in our JV game.
Yo, I'll get that 3 up there. I'll post it as the greatest 3-point shot ever made.
Yeah. So tough.
Yo, the reaction too, like y'all reaction.
That was
Oh
better
my
than your
god,
shot. That was better than your shot.
that was honestly, that was just legendary.
That was when I like fell and missed the chair.
Everyone's just staring at us.
Gavin stood up before I even shot it. He was like butter.
Yeah.
I remember letting it go and go, oh shoot, that thing arced high. I was like, I didn't expect that to go that high in the air.
That Dirk arch.
All right, we'll move on to back on track. Game 7, the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks. I think that's tomorrow, which is Sunday. Who do you guys got winning this series? This is a big series, big Game 7. It is in Los Angeles, but so far every away team has won. So who do you guys think? Let's go with hot take himself, Johnny Gray.
I'm gonna go with the Clippers, just because you said it's in LA, right?
Yeah.
It's in LA. Clippers are a solid team. It could be close. Maybe Kawhi will hit a corner 3, bouncing out just like the Sixers when he hit that against the Sixers.
Well, yeah, it was a walk too.
But yeah, he might hit one of those. But yeah, I got Clippers.
All right, Cade, who do you got?
Well, I think that the Lakers fans of LA are all going to buy tickets to this game and go in there and sabotage the Clippers game and make it look like a road game for the Clippers.
You think so?
None of the home teams have won a game so far this series, so I don't know if the Mavs are going to win this one, and all 7 games the road team would win. I think the play of Kristaps Porzingis has been horrible, and I don't think the Mavericks should win this series. How poorly he's been playing, and you can't just expect Doncic to come out there and score 40. And when he didn't yesterday, they couldn't win. So when you have to rely on guys like Tim Hardaway Jr. and Finney Smith because you're not getting any production from Porzingis, you're not going to win a lot of games. So I think as much as I would like the Mavericks to win tomorrow, as a Kawhi Leonard fan, I need him to win so he doesn't get heated on. And I think if they can win tomorrow, they might have a pretty easy path to the finals that they need. So I think this is a big game for Kawhi tomorrow. He played really well last game, so I think he's going to come out, score a lot of points. As long as Paul George doesn't touch the ball at all, he shouldn't even play, and they'll be fine. They should win.
All right, Gavin, what do you think?
Well, first of all, I think the fact that this game has already gone to 7 is a complete disgrace for the Clippers as a whole. They have a 10 times better, they're just so much more talented, top to bottom. I was watching the game last night, and all the Mavericks really have is just Luka and Tim Hardaway Jr. and I guess Finney Smith a little. But yeah, Porzingis is kind of ass, and they have no bench. So I really want the Mavericks to win, but I think Kawhi will bear down and, like he did last night, and single-handedly win. He'll probably drop 40. So yeah, I got Clippers.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. I mean, what really stood out to me was just the utilization of Kristaps. All he's doing is sitting in the corner. He's not posting up. He's not doing anything. If Rick Carlisle can actually make an adjustment and get Porzingis the ball more, and in the low post, they're not even running Zubac on him. They're literally running Kawhi at center sometimes, and they don't have a real center.
Yeah,
and
Tyler doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, Tyler just needs LeBron to coach. The coach. We don't even he didn't coach that title run in 2016. We all know that. But if Rick Carlisle knows what he's doing with Kristaps, what really stood out to me was the beginning of the fourth in Game 6 when both Kawhi and Luka sat, and Paul George just took over because Kristaps wasn't in. Like the Mavs don't have a second guy who can take over besides Luca. So when that happens, like Paul George can sometimes do that if he, goes back to his Indiana self and his OKC self. But when you got like guys like Jalen Brunson running point guard and like organizing the offense, like you're not going to win a Game 7 playoff game on the road against a team that's arguably one of the greatest teams in the playoffs right now. So I think I got Clippers. I think it's going to be a close one. Obviously, I think Luka's going to do his thing, but I think just the Kawhi takeover and just the overall just the star effect of the playoffs is going to come into play.
Boban's been playing better than Kristaps Porzingis this series.
Bro, dead ass. Boban's actually got a
Boban's
bucket.
supposed to get no minutes in like these kind of series, but because how bad Porzingis has been playing, he's been getting time and doing better than Porzingis. So,
Dude, that actually, and the Mavs keep running a zone, and Coach Segura taught me all about that 2-3 zone. Like you just gotta ball movement, get the ball in the middle. We used to run a play called Lakers. I don't know if y'all remember that, but literally the Clippers are just running Lakers with Kawhi.
We didn't run plays last year. We just
Yeah, they took our playbook, dude.
we just get the ball and said,
Yeah, give the ball to Dean and Dylan, just move out the way.
Shot. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, but I mean, I got the Clippers. I mean, I think it's going to be a close one, though. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited. All right. Well, we only got 5 minutes left on this free Zoom timer, so we'll have to get to the winner of the Clippers and the Mavericks versus the Jazz some other time if we ever do. I mean, that'll be an interesting series. I don't know if it's the most exciting one, but we'll see. We'll see. If you guys want to, be on the podcast, comment down below. Give this one a like. Subscribe to the channel. DM me if you want to be on the podcast. Comment what you think Johnny's favorite color is down below. That way we'll know if you made it this long to the video, and we'll see you all next time.
Peace.